Flat Earth theories getting impounded in the spheres. Blinded by denial, but the evidence is clear. Ships sink hull first, ain't no magic trick. Horizon pulling down, yo, science hit quick. Round we spin, yeah, facts go relentless. Empirical proof, got 'em feeling defenseless. Curious UK globe with rhymes resounding. Flash can't dodge these facts I'm pounding. Gravity's the force pulling truth to the ground. Apples don't fall sideways, we orbit profound. Lunar eclipses drop shadows in curves embrace. Trying to run from the math, but it smacks the face. YouTube vids claim conspiracies thrive, but the stars don't lie, they dance and jive. Experiment repeatable, tested, done. Flat claims, flat line under the scientific sun. Round we spin, yeah, facts go relentless. Empirical proof, got 'em feeling defenseless. Curious UK globe with rhymes resounding. Fluffs can't dodge these facts I'm pounding. Flight paths don't loop for a pancake map. Pilots laugh at the claims, leave them in the gap. Gyroscopes hum truths, keep the planes aligned. While first play jigsaw with a missing mind. Round we spin, yeah, facts go relentless. Empirical proof, got 'em feeling defenseless. Curious UK globe with rhymes resounding. Fluffs can't dodge these facts I'm pounding. Round we spin, yeah, facts go relentless. Empirical proof, got 'em feeling defenseless. Curious UK globe with rhymes resounding. Fluffs can't dodge these facts I'm pounding. Spin, yeah, facts go relentless. Empirical proof, got 'em feeling defenseless. Curious UK globe with rhymes resounding. Flush can't dodge these facts I'm pounding. Flight paths don't loop for a pancake map. Pilots laugh at the claims, leave them in the gap. Gyroscopes hum truths, keep the planes aligned. While first play jigsaw with a missing mind. Flight paths don't loop for a pancake map. Pilots laugh at the claims, leave them in the gap. Gyroscopes hum truths, keep the planes aligned. While first play jigsaw with a missing mind. Flat Earth theories getting impounded in the spheres. Blinded by denial, but the evidence is clear. Ships sink hull first, ain't no magic trick. Horizon pulling down, yo, science hit quick. Round we spin, yeah, facts go relentless. Empirical proof, got 'em feeling defenseless. Curious UK globe with rhymes resounding. Fluffs can't dodge these facts I'm pounding. Gravity's the force pulling truth to the ground. Apples don't fall sideways, we orbit profound. Lunar eclipses drop shadows in curves embrace. Trying to run from the math, but it smacks the face. YouTube vids claim conspiracies thrive, but the stars don't lie, they dance and jive. Experiment repeatable, tested, done. Flat claims, flat line under the scientific sun. Round we spin, yeah, facts go relentless. Empirical proof, got 'em feeling defenseless. Curious UK globe with rhymes resounding. Fluffs can't dodge these facts I'm pounding. Flight paths don't loop for a pancake map. Pilots laugh at the claims, leave them in the gap. Gyroscopes hum truths, keep the planes aligned. While first play jigsaw with a missing mind. Round we spin, yeah, facts go relentless. Empirical proof, got 'em feeling defenseless. Curious UK globe with rhymes resounding. Fluffs can't dodge these facts I'm pounding. Round we spin, yeah, facts go relentless. Empirical proof, got 'em feeling defenseless. Curious UK globe with rhymes resounding. Fluffs can't dodge these facts I'm pounding. spinning truth round the axis. It's a factual ride, flirts fumbling hard, trying to run and hide. We got that gravity pulling, you just drifting through. Science slaps empirical, stick to the glue. Round pound, sharper minds, we probe for the real. History stacked tall, experiments that seal. Curious minds, globe-trot evidence rolls deep. While flirts count shadows, we night sky sweep. Eratosthenes flex with them shadow lines. Measured Earth's curve, no conspiracy signs. Dropping mics like Newton when his apple fell. Maths the beat, y'all theory sail like a cell. Foucault's pendulum swinging to expose. Rotation so true, no flurf can oppose. Telescopes beaming, Copernican frames. Centuries stacking, flirts out of their games. Round pound, sharper minds, we probe for the real. History stacked tall, experiments that seal. Curious minds, globe-trot evidence rolls deep. While flirts count shadows, we night sky sweep. Launching satellites, proof in the pics. Flirts screaming tricks, we dropping data bricks. Physics and logic on a level supreme. It's a curved reality, splitting flirt dreams. Launching satellites, proof in the pics. Flirts screaming tricks, we dropping data bricks. Physics and logic on a level supreme. It's a curved reality, splitting flirt dreams.
Going here, welcome back. So welcome to Pseudoscience Sunday, where I'm just going to look at some of the Flat Earth Derp and see what kind of pseudoscience that has been coming up in the last week or so. Obviously I wasn't able to make it on Wednesday. I had some friends over, some family stuff going on, and so I wasn't able to make it on then. So but I was able to make it on tonight. Happy Easter to anybody out there, or Happy Zombies Jesus Day if you're not really into all that. So let's have a little look here and see what we have going on here. There's a few things. One, sorry about that. All right, so let's start off with got my little cup here, little spaceman there. That's right, a little spacewalk there, and sweetened with Flat Earth tears, of course. Here's a little bit special because this is coffee from Tim Hortons. So, cheers. Flat Earth tears, always so sweet. All right, let's get crack-a-lacking here. So, a few things. One thing is, I did last time. It was on. I think I mentioned I was going to contact Mikey Smith. I did contact Mikey Smith, and he had got back to me almost right away on the same day. So I thought, okay, cool, right? So quickly, I'll just read what I had said to him. Let's go here. All right, he didn't actually get back to me. Okay, so I had sent to him here. I didn't see this last one here. So I said to him, "Hi, Mikey. My name is James, and I would like to have you on my YouTube live stream to talk to you about your observations. I'm an amateur photographer as well, and I have a few observations. I would like to compare yours with mine. Let me know if you're interested in what days and times are best for you. I'm in the UK, and I stream at about 9 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, which GMT, Sundays and Wednesdays. I might be able to do it different days as well. If you can arrange something, let me know what works for you. Thanks, James." And I went Curious UK Debunks. So he sent back to me, says, I'll get back to you soon. Then he said, do you have a YouTube page? If you do you have a YouTube page? If you do have one. Now I did actually say to him, Curious UK Debunks, but I will I'll actually run it back right now because I didn't realize he'd sent me another one because it was like 6 days ago. So yes, I do. That's funny because I'm pretty sure Flat Earth Reconnaissance sent me a message like about a month ago saying he was going to contact Mikey Smith I see about getting on live stream, and then I've actually messaged him a few times, and nothing come back from Flat Earth Reconnaissance. He wanted my messenger, like my Facebook or something like that. Well, I'm not gonna give him that. So I told him that I give him the email, so you can email me on this, and also referred him to my YouTube page, which actually he commented on my YouTube video, so he knows about it. But see, I'm gonna send. Obviously, I'm gonna tell him that yes, I do. My YouTube is CuriousUK Debunks. He's probably not gonna. He's probably gonna block me here. So, because every time I'm in his lives, he tends to mute me, or somebody does. So. All right, so let's just see here. So I said, yes, I do. CuriousUK Debunks. I go live most Sundays and Wednesdays, 9 p.m. I'm getting here 9 p.m. UK time. I see UK time, so I don't know if he's I know what GMT is. UK time. Talk to you soon. Talk you soon. Come on. Oh, James Arnold. KSUK books. Put it in brackets. Maybe he'll get the message. All right. All right. So there we are. I didn't say his last name, so yeah, James KSUK Debunks. So we will see if Mikey gets back to me there. I just realized that was 6 days ago. He actually had sent that again. I didn't see it. He had sent one 6 days ago saying I'll get back to you soon, and he sent one again. I don't know when he sent that. 303. That's the last one he sent. 254 and then 303. So he sent one like about 10 minutes later. Oh well, I didn't see that one. Yeah, I think because he said like 10 minutes later, it showed like straight away both. I didn't see that, but I will. Anybody who's interested here, I will let you know. How's it going there, Caliber Sword Swinger? I'm not sure what you mean. Like the more I debunk, the more it will manifest. The more it will manifest evidence. Yes. Okay. Well, flat earthers like to make up all sorts of like evidence. uh, but I'm 2 3 years into this, and so far, I haven't. Sorry, mate. Go on. Have fun. I don't think there's many people in there, anyways. Ooh, I think I turned my thing off. You know what? I did try to watch it on here. Ooh. Yeah. All right. Here. All right. There we are. Hope everything's going all right at work, and let's see if you want to have a little watch and see what's going on in this. But yeah. All right. Let's see here. So the first thing I'm gonna check up here is there's been some claims about the new Shepherd 31 with the fucking what's her name, Katy Perry, and that Oprah Winfrey's friend there. What's her name? Can't think of the name right now. And a few other ones, right? All celebrities, all rich women, and they went up into New Shepherd 31 and did their little trip. And while it was cheesy as fuck, and all, a lot of people claim it's fake. Claiming they didn't go up, or it's which I find really weird, because the funny thing is they're claiming this one's fake, but they're not. People aren't clicking on that this is New Shepard 31. There's 30 other freaking flights that went up, and not a single one have they been able to prove were fake. Even freaking Captain Kirk there, he went up, and all his stupid name. I think I know him. He's a Canadian, but he went up, and as well as like the fella from what's that? I'm going to travel around things soon. I'll have to be careful I don't get to the end of the earth and fall off. Yeah, kissing the ground was stupid. Yeah, her kissing the ground, that was, how freaking stupid and cheesy is that? And then Bezos wanted to do the whole thing where he opened the door because they're all like women, and obviously his girlfriend or wife, whatever the heck she is, she was in there. And what somebody had opened it on the inside, and then that just caused loads of people saying, "Oh, that's fake, it's fake, it's fake." It's bullshit. Like this, it's got a handle on the inside, and I'll show that and prove that, as well as a few other things. X, where we call Twitter, heck, is rampant and people claiming all sorts of crap. So we're gonna have a little look at a New Shepard's video here, and then I'm gonna go through it real quick here. This has been debunked loads of times. Keegan did it, and everybody else. Not the first time Katy Perry kissed dirt for fame. No, I think she kissed a lot of things. I mean, didn't she claim she kissed a girl and she liked it? But yeah, I think she's kissed a lot of stuff. Katy Perry, whatever, you know. She's rich as can be. Oh, I know. Oh, I especially the cabin after that flight. I know. Hope they had good air conditioning. I mean, those suits looked really tight. So yeah. And they had bell bottoms on. Like, what the hell? Oh, they were some designer ones, weren't they? Because they're all rich as fucking dirt. So um, no, that was Diddy in the dress. Oh yeah, trying to escape. Yeah, it didn't work, did it? Kind of like Diddy in a dress, actually. Might be on something there. Sorry, Stringer. Might be onto something. Yeah, she's It was pathetic though, but let's so yeah, Amazon air conditioning delivered in 3 to 6 days, since they don't have Prime. Who knows? Look. I'm pretty sure Bezos' girlfriend there. Something's getting primed. All right, let's check this out. Hopefully we have sound. Ooh, there we are. All right. Obviously, this is a quick. Oh, okay. So back there was Crap. That went further back than I thought. Crap. All right, let's do this again. So there's a quick one here for anybody who doesn't know. This is New Shepard. It's a small rocket. It goes up, comes down, lands like all the SpaceX ones does. Onto this little capsule, comes off at the end, and then this whole rocket comes back down, lands on its feet onto a pad. So yeah, it's like I think it's got a single engine here because it's only lifting just a small payload here. It looks like a big, like, phallic thing. So which all the jokes of the of friggin' all the stuff from Austin Power just comes up all the time. But yeah, whatever. It was designed by men for people to ride on the end. And shoot his load up into space, or it'll come back down. You know, stuff shoots up and then goes up and then comes down. And it always look like a flashlight. Yeah, I don't think you mean flash, do you? Alright, let's check this out. Hopefully we have sound. Oh, there we are. Obviously, this is I don't think it's a flashlight. It looks like. I think you went E and then an A. All right, so let's go here. So this is what it does here. Obviously, it goes up into the air. The shoots off in the end here. Um, it comes back down. This lands back down. This goes up in a parabolic arc, comes up over. At this point here, they go past the Kármán line, which is 100 kilometers or 62 miles, and then they go weightless here for about 3 to 4 minutes, and so they experience sort of weightlessness. So it is, they go up because it's going over like this. It's coming down. Think of like the Vomit Comet, that plane that they train for low gravity. They go, and then it comes back down. At this point here, they're told to get back on their seats, and then it comes back down, and then it deploys. The shoots comes and it's here. It's called New Shepard, and it's based on the flight of some fellow last name Shepard. It's a very similar thing. Yes, yes. That's it. Sort of Ringer Bezos had a bunch of women inside of his phallic device, and then he shot the load up into the air, and then it landed back down in the middle of the desert. So, yeah. I mean, hey, he's rich. I guess it worked, right? He's had several women in there, actually. He likes to have the parties. And it's white. Like a white party. Like the ones that Diddy had. Oh dear. Oh, trying to put some things together here. Oh, let's not go there. All right. So especially Gail. That's it. Gail. What the hell is her last name? Gail something. Like her face has been taken off and glued back on. All right, so this is the little thing that the symbol that they had. Now, some people say you turn upside down, and it looks a lot like Baal, which like the guy who's like doing the whole thing, horns and goat head and all that. And honestly, it really kind of does. You turn upside down, and it does look a lot like it. Coincidence? Who knows, right? I'm not going to say anything. These are obviously supposed to be the women's faces. This is the booster part coming landing back down. You can kind of see what they did here. Maybe it's just coincidence. I don't freaking know. Don't worry about sword smear. Hey, you can have a little fun here, have a laugh. Hey, it makes it more entertaining. Hey, I don't care. Some innuendos and stuff like that. This makes it fun. It's nothing to get me freaking have my YouTube channel taken down, please. Alright, so this is what it is. They kind of explain it here, so I don't think anybody explained this, so I'll put it up here and we'll have a little look and see what they oh, come on, there it is. Alright, so I can get the top part there. Alright, take that off there because all those stupid words are in the way. Okay, so Flynn the Fly, the main character in Lauren Sanchez's best-selling children's book. The Fly, who flew to space, is along for the ride. The story is about overcoming adversity, inspiring kids with learning disabilities to pursue dreams. So apparently that's what this is. This is. Make that big again. I can see what that top part said. That's what that is. Alright, so that's what that thing there is there. Okay. The target star symbolizes Asha Brown's ambition for setting big goals, passion for STEM, and commitments to inspiring future generations. Okay. The film reel symbolizes Carolyn Flynn's passion for filmmaking, storytelling, and crafting beautiful narratives. Shooting star microphone represents Gail King's commitment to sharing important stories with the world. All right, and Scales of Justice symbolizes Amanda Nagin's efforts to advocate for civil rights, break barriers, and empower everyday people to create change. I guess they all had. That's very small, though, isn't it? Fireworks symbolizes Katy Perry's global influence across music, pop culture, and philanthropy. Alright, so I guess they have a little thing, and then this maybe was done by Blue Origins or something like that, and they put the names right here. Okay, all cool, right? So that was their mission badge, or the badge they got designed to put on their little designer suits. Okay, so, right, cool, right? That sounds like fun, whatever, right? There's how them and their designers like really tight suits. So yeah, okay. What is with Katy Perry's hair? And this apparently here is like Jeff Bezos' wife. There's Gail King. I don't exactly know who that is there. I'm not gonna say I know who all these people are. I know it's Katy Perry. I know it's Gail King, and I know that's his girlfriend. These two people are other people that went on. Okay, cool, or whatever. Whatever. I don't. I think they're all like women's power and all shit like that. So okay. Now I did actually. I had put up on X on my X account. It does show them getting in here, and they are waving. They are in this thing. You can see them getting loaded in. They close the doors. They move the game way back. You can see them all sitting there waving, looking out the windows. So they are in there. So just move on here. Don't believe me? Look it up. It's all over. So yeah, it's like a 3-hour video. Says telemetry data. It shows their height, how high they're going, how fast they're going, all this stuff like that. They hit about 2.5, 3 Gs in this, which is the same as a roller coaster. There's nothing that's like drastic. Fighter pilots hit 6 Gs or more, a little bit more. So this it's if you even look at how like their height and stuff, they're hitting about 500 miles per hour. They're not going like super fast. They're not going into orbit. They're not trying, so they're not gonna hit some. And especially when you get to a certain height, as the atmosphere goes thinner, then they're able to go fast. So now they're at max Q, which is the max pressure on the craft. So now they can go, they can really ramp up the speed, the power. So that's why they hit a certain to go a lot faster. Now, when they say space, technically, they go past the Kármán line, so that is like arbitrary line that everyone around the world has set. Say it's 100 kilometers or 62 miles. They see at that point above the surface of the Earth or say an altitude is considered you've now technically entered space. Now that's only just barely above that. It's just to hit that line, um, and that's the whole point of this. They've been claiming a lot, like especially Gail King, all them, that they're astronauts. They are not astronauts. They are space tourists, right? This is a really fancy ride for really rich people. This costs about $250,000 to $300,000 a seat to ride on this. Now, anybody can go on it. You gotta go through a little bit of training and make sure like physical ability, obviously medical stuff like that, to make sure you can do this. Like I said, there's been some people that are like all older have been on it. Um, even I still can't remember his name, but Captain Kirk there. Um, he was in his 70s or 80s, and he went up in it. Now, he's not like in the best shape. He's not horrendous, but um, it's not like something that's like you're not doing anything really drastic, nor are you going up for a very very long time or any kind of. So the medical isn't horrendous. I imagine if they're getting like regular people going up there, and even people like him who's a bit overweight and obviously get on in years. But I know there is still some bit, and they have to do some basic training to kind of know what to do. You can go up there, run through the drills. Okay, you get up there, get this point here, you feel this. You can get out. You can do some stuff like that, and then after about 3 minutes, when the buzzer goes off, or whatever, light goes on, whatever, the signal, get back in your seat, buckle up. Do that, get in, buckle up, and get ready for to come down, right? So, but yeah, they are going into space. They're not astronauts. So Gail King, stop freaking saying that shit. You're not an astronaut. You are a space tourist, right? And that's as much as you'll be, right? You're rich somebody who went and did a cool ride and got to see the curvature of the Earth. I'll show that in a minute here. I'll see if I can find a video where it shows them inside. They're not astronauts. It says 0 G's microgravity. Now, if you, oh, so I don't know if this is showing the booster descent, yeah. But if I go back a bit, see if it shows just before this. Okay. I'll go back here a minute. You notice at the bottom here, I don't know if you can see it with my cursor up there. If I go back on this, you look in this area here, you're going to see New Shepard's velocity, right? So what's happening is you'll watch it, it's just going to slowing down. As they're going up, they're hitting this now, they're seeing 0 G, so they're experiencing microgravity. And as it's going to come out, and as you watch that as a client, it's going to drop off quickly, and as it drops off, eventually it's going to hit the point and hit 0. Then that's where they kind of hit the point where they're going to hang out, and then they're going to start coming back down. As you do that, then they're going to have to get back on the seats. I've watched several of these, so I've kind of picked up on stuff like that, and that's kind of how. If you're in the vomit comet, it would do that. Come down, you'd have to get ready, set yourself on the ground because it's going to start heading down. And when it gets that, it's going to climb back up again. So, but watch it'll go down to 0 and start climbing back up, and then they have so long to get back into the seats. So right here, this is New Shepard's. The capsule's speed. It's dropping off quickly. Now this is showing the booster speed. This is sonic boom. So you got Jeff Bezos, his New Shepard, and I think his other one he's got New Glenn. I think this is going to be able to do the same things. Obviously, a much bigger rocket, New Glenn, where they can actually take stuff up into orbit. And obviously, SpaceX, they can land their rockets. They're the ones that land, and now they also have ones that they can catch with their what they call the chopsticks onto their big game unit that they launch off. So yeah, it's revolutionized space flight, and that's why they can do stuff like this because the rockets are reusable. So before, obviously, the ones you used to launch the space shuttles, as well as before that when you had like the Saturn V's, they were single use. It went off into bits, and then a lot of the stuff ended up into the ocean, and there's actually a whole place called like some like astronaut or space flight graveyard. People could dive down and you see the different bits of stuff that have they've landed to kind of have in a certain area that they aim to have all this stuff fall into. So yeah, or some, not all of them. Some of them went further up. I think there's a story about a Saturn V rocket, a part of it, that they, when they're doing the Apollo missions, they were able to, NASA was able to control it remotely. They still have remote control and stuff like that. They could do like some of the stuff back then, right? So after the separation of the second or third stage, one of the things they'd done is they'd done a trajectory to use to have this, send this big fuselage unit off, and they're going to just like send it into the sun, burn it up, cool, right? Head towards the moon. I think it was just kind of use the gravity of the moon, slingshot it off. Went well. Somebody miscalculated a little bit, right? Either too close or too far from the moon. The slingshot effect, it didn't work exactly. It flung it, but not into the sun, but towards the sun. And then what actually had happened is and they didn't realize at the time, is it sent it into an orbit around the sun. So it heads up now. Still doing it to this day. Eventually it will burn up, or it'll gonna crash. But to this day, how they realize this, they seen this thing go out, they seen this thing coming back, it's showing up on the radar, and they're going, what's that? Wow, what? There's something really weird out there. It's anomalous. And they're looking at the radar, and they're going, gee. And then I think there's something like a shine or a reflection off it, and they're going, that's a really weird object. And they're going, what's that? And they're going, that looks kind of like the readings off of fuselage off of Saturn V or a rocket. And what? So when they got the telescopes, we got some observation and looked at it, and they got able to look up on there, and lo and behold, it was this bloody freaking fuselage. And it didn't go into the sun, but it orbited. So every so few years or so, the damn thing freaking comes back. And it's on a degrading orbit, but it's still going into the sun. It's orbiting around the sun, and it comes back towards the Earth, orbits around us, and then freaking buggers off again. And it's on it, but it is degrading. But they screwed up on the calculations. The damn thing's freaking orbiting instead of actually going straight into the sun and burning up and being vaporized. So that's just one story, and you can look up the story. It's kind of funny, but yeah. So they usually see when it's coming back, and then some people, if you have a far enough telescope, you can look up and see the bloody thing freaking like reflecting the sun, heading back towards us, and you can see it buggering off again. So it's kind of a funny little story, but yeah. That's stuff when they just getting rid of. Now obviously New Shepard, SpaceX, and I think some other space companies working with this. They will reuse them, so it's dropped the cost of space travel massively, right? As we all know, right? And that's why we're able to. SpaceX could do a lot more launches. We're trying to do all the testing with their Starship, and then also they're able to send up a lot more going back and forth ISS to do different runs of equipment or people back and forth, and it's because the cost is a lot lower. Now some of the stuff, there's still some wastage, but they're working on making it better, right? Where they can reuse it. Same thing with like the Dragon capsules, or with this one, New Shepard. It's like capsules that it lands, it has like that, and they're able to actually reuse it, right? Even the Dragon capsules, they look burnt up, but they're able to clean them up, recoat them with all the paint and stuff like that. They do get charred up, like the last one that came down, and they can reuse them, right? So there's bits they may have to replace, but for the most part, it's dropped the cost massively, and it's working out. So that's where I was saying that a few years ago it wasn't possible, but it has been for the last 7, 8 years, 9 years, that it's this is really helping to push it forward. So that's why you're getting more of a space race nowadays, is that they're figured out ways of dropping the cost, and that's what stopped the Apollo missions in the first place. It's just the cost was just freaking massive, it was astronomical, right? And people lost interest, public and the government lost interest in it after Apollo 11, and then they did, like, obviously the other Apollo missions dropped off because the new thing by then was the space shuttle, and the space shuttle didn't cost nearly as much. Space shuttle was obviously reusable, where they could launch it and then they could land it and reuse it, and they could do different tests and like build like the space arm, build, like, take rockets, or like satellites or different objects up and deploy them or fix them, stuff like that. So that's why Apollo eventually lost its funding, because the people lost interest in it, and they had the space shuttle and everybody's interested in that. Now, obviously, space shuttle has been retired, especially after the few of the catastrophes that they had, and then they're just doing like bits. I think they do still space shuttle, doing different things up and back and forth to the ISS. That was where the main thing was. You could do tests, and it was a lot cheaper. And I think for a while, if I remember correctly, NASA was using Soyuz quite a bit. And then Elon Musk came along, did the SpaceX, and now we're able to use the American company, and he's pushing. He's really helped kickstart this whole space race stuff again. So, and India's got involved now, and we've got like Japan's getting a lot more involved now, stuff like that. So, but I digress. That's why with this new technology and the way they're doing, we're able to do a lot more and have stuff like space tourism. At this, they have Virgin Galactic, which you don't hear much about them. I think he's still going, but Bezos, I think, was just did it better, so, and cheaper. So let's keep going here. But you have to admit, that's still pretty freaking impressive. Massive rocket, and you can land, and now they make it look. I know it's, you see it a lot of times, but come on, like they still make it look so nowadays, don't they? I don't know if anybody's seen like some of these SpaceX ones where they're trying to get the boosters to land, and they fall over, or they hit, and they wouldn't land, come down too hard, too fast, if it can blow up. And there were some pretty good freaking explosions there, but eventually they got it, and I think Bezos learned from them. I'm pretty sure SpaceX did it first. Yeah, I'm sure they did, and he learned from them, and then he's been able to, and it's jumped forward a lot more. So now this is so commonplace, people don't even think twice about it. But I think it's still quite impressive to see a massive, huge rocket there, and look at the size of that. That's several stories, and come and land on some feet right in the middle, like on a target as well. Come on, that's pretty cool. That's some engineering stuff there. I often wondered about that. That huge, massive dust. I thought it was just like coming down, but it makes sense actually now I think about it. It wouldn't blow out like that until it had hit if it wasn't for that puff of dust. So that makes sense. That the massive, huge like cushion of air just gonna blow down real quick, and probably just gives it a jolt. And I'll see if I can find it inside the capsule. We can see where they kind of have a double jolt. And you can see where they kind of slow down, and then they hit and slow down again. Now, one thing is I've heard, I've seen some people try to claim, especially on X and a few other places, they think that these are that is being faked, and they think that they are in one of those like those wind tunnel things for like when you want to train or do different stuff, like if you're skydiving. Now I'll show you what the difference is because that's just bullshit and it's easily debunked. So watch them here. So check up their hair, check out how they talk to each other. Their hair is floating around, so as they're going out, they're not like really, really high up. They're gonna have their microgravity. It's not 0G so much, but they have where they can move and float around and stuff like that. So, and they probably all got hairspray and stuff like that in their hair. Just gonna hold it down a bit, hold it together. You can see the curvature of the Earth there. So anyway, flat Earthers there. It's very clear, right? Out the windows. No CG. It's not like fisheye. See, everything's the different lines of straight curvature. It's the curvature of the Earth right there. So yeah, once again, proving. You can see what's her name. Oh crap! See her hanging upside down. She's this way, this way. So if there was like harnesses and stuff in here, then they'd be getting all tied up, especially the hair and stuff would get all tied up and stuff like that. You can put the hands like this, as well as where would the harnesses be in this small enclosed space, without them all getting like hooked and tied up and everything else on each other as they're moving around. See how they're starting to. I heard them mention they're going like, okay, it's time. Like they're gonna start getting buckled in. A few doing a few little things, and they're getting ready. Some are getting ready to get back on the seats. See. Now, quickly here. See if I can find this here. It is skydiving. Let's see here. Bring it up here. All right. All right. So we're gonna check this out here real quick. I'll show you. If you've seen, remember how what they look like there. I think this one here. All right. Let's see if I can get past all this. So some people have claimed that they were in something like this over here. So focus in a bit more. That there, right? So I've seen some people on the internet and stuff like that claiming that all those women are in something like this, and they weren't actually in low at 0G. Right? Remember how they could talk and everything like that, and the hair and everything was just floating. See if we can get past some of this here. Now, if you notice here, these folks here are wearing helmets. They're wearing goggles. And also look at, if you watch to see how their suits are, how they have to position themselves, like to hold themselves a certain way. They can't just be like hanging around and stuff like that, or just moving. They have to really control your body. Like this is a full body thing, right? If you don't, you end up landing. See here, what people don't realize, or people claim that, is that gravity is still in effect here. What you're doing is you're catching a massive fan underneath here, and this is like a big net to hold you up, or a cage or something like that. The air can pass through, but you're holding your body out, and you're holding it there, and the air that's being pushed up is pushing you up. So you have this massive fan that's blowing really hard. That's why they have these helmets with these goggles and stuff. Because if not, their eyes are blowing up and their face is blowing and contorts and everything else. It's to simulate falling back to the earth, right? Like jumping out of a plane. You see how they can easily stand unless you hold your body and up and down. See, but they can easily, if they go up and down, like how that one lady was hanging upside down, they're going straight down. I also look how everything's blowing. They're blowing up. So see how this is all puffing up the back from all the air. See, everything's blowing up. See, everything's moving here, blowing up. It's not. It's not 0G. It's like you're catching the wind. You're catching a lot of air. Right? She's in a tight suit too, but you can see it's blowing. See how her skin, everything is going up from the air. That's pushing. All right, so see if she goes wrong orientation, she's straight down, right? Also, obviously not having the video, but if you find, like I said, there's massive amount of noise. You can't just talk. They're having to kind of direct and gesture. They mainly talk, if they do talk, then they're shouting at each other, right? Once again, you can see how their clothes are moving and stuff like that. And it's, all the air and stuff blowing them up. It is professional here, somebody who knows what they're doing. So to hold out like that, though, he has to hold his arms out. He's trying to catch all that air. So there's a massive difference compared to what you've seen from the ladies here in New Shepard. And here you see how they're moving. I've seen that before. I'll watch this one more time here real quick. Watch how they're moving here. You see how everything here is loose here, and it's not blowing and flopping around and stuff like that. It's not skin tight. It's not like tight. No movements. It's definitely not a wind tunnel. So anybody who said that, you're talking shit, and you obviously don't know what you're talking about. So. Here, the legs there of their suits is loose, right? Watch when they're hanging upside down. Look at see these legs. They're just as only moves when they're moving. See how that? It's out steady. It's stiff. It's not like flopping. The hair isn't. The other girl there, she had to have like a full suit. All her hair had to be tight because it would be all over the freaking place. See this? Yeah. So. Just thought I'd bring that up. So. Yeah, even Creaky Blinders covers it. So it's been crap. But yeah. And as for the door, I think see if we can bring it up here. Alright, just in case anybody didn't think you'd see inside. Here's them launching off, by the way. Just in case. You want to see that again? They're launching off this Katy Perry. They are all right there. Heading up in there. So, somebody mentioned that it had no interior, no view from inside the rocket as it launched off. Here it is. Put up 4 days ago. Here they are. Alright, this is where it's all cheesy and stupid. It doesn't show Jeff Bezos opening it up like when it had the whole thing. But just to give a bit of context, see if I can show here. Alright, so this door opens in, right? So people say, oh, how, it's thin and stuff. It's actually not all that thin. It's several layers to it. It also has a big lip on the outside. Let's see if you can find. Let's see if we can find it. I'm gonna bring something up. See if we can yeah. just bear with me just a second here. I know, see if I can find one that has it on here. Okay. This might have it here. There we are. Okay. So I'll bring this up here. Okay, so this is inside New Shepard here, right? Jeff Bezos, Blue Origins, right? This is like something probably showing off the capsule and stuff like that. I don't know when this was put up, but Mashable, right? So a bit of a press conference thing. And here's the door, right? So you can see it's not super thin. It's got a seal there, and it's got a lip there, right? And it seals against here, the bulkhead, right? Now it's actually quite clever if you think about how it is. The more pressure there is, less pressure on the outside, and the pressure, same pressure on the inside, which would be about 14.7 psi atmospheric pressure on the inside, maintained. It will push harder on this and seal it even more. So less pressure on the outside as you go up in altitude and the pressure drops off, which it will push harder on the outside here and keep this. Now this does have a latch there, down there, and you see right behind his head here, people didn't realize this, but you know what that is right there? Yeah, that's a massive freaking like lever to open and close this door, right? So this door is, you're able to open it on the inside as well as the outside. And the outside they have a key that goes in, and then a big lever that goes to turn it, right? The key, like think like a big wrench. Now what happened with New Shepard 31 is I think they wanted to have some photo op with Jeff Bezos opening up and letting them all out. Somebody obviously didn't get the memo or didn't realize. In their happiness when they first landed, somebody got up, opened it up, and then they went, no, we want to have Jeff do it. So when they close it, and they actually when they close it, they just put it on this price like that and moved up a little bit, just kind of pin it. Jeff went to use it, but it already had, it wasn't all the way locked down and sealed. So he didn't use it. He used the tools as he did. It's kind of, they just pushed it shut in a panic, and then he went to go open it up and just kind of went back in again. And they went, oh, okay, well, I didn't need to use it because it already was open. They're able to open these up on the inside. Now, as I said, they say, oh, this isn't thick enough. Do different things. One, the New Shepard doesn't go up high enough and doesn't hit orbital velocities, doesn't hit the speed, so it doesn't need to deal with the heat, doesn't have to deal with the pressure and stuff of like a re-entry, like slowing down as it comes into the atmosphere, like you would have for the Dragon capsule. And so you're dealing with all that. They have to slow down. So that's why you don't have the heat. That's why they don't burn up. That's why they still look good, because they're not hitting any kind of super high speed where you have all the friction of the atmosphere on the capsule, right? So that's one thing I've seen that brought up a lot. Why doesn't this look all burnt up? And it's because it only goes up and does that parabolic. It only comes up and then comes down, right? So it comes up, comes over, and it comes down. So it's not hitting a super high velocity. It's just going just barely past the Kármán line and comes down. This is more able to deal with those heat. It's not getting red hot. It's not going in. It's not hitting the friction of the atmosphere, trying to slow down from orbital velocity to slow down to landing, right? So that's why they don't burn up. So they don't also have to deal with the massive stresses. But as it goes up, it pushes harder. It only has to contain 14.6 psi. So if you have 0.3 psi outside, because we're just past that point where and it's still there's still a little bit of pressure on the outside. So 0.3 psi, you got 14.7 psi on the inside. The difference is 14.2 psi. So that door has to maintain maintain the pressure of 14.3 psi. Your car tire is made out of rubber, and it contains 30 psi or more, right? And it's not nearly as thick as this, as and the other stick is the door. Oh, it's even better. Oh, come on, and so it's not nearly as thick as this door is. It's also made out of rubber, and it only has to contain about 14 psi of pressure. Easy, and with that 14 psi that's pushing on this surface, it's actually just causing more of a seal. And this is probably made of sort of probably certain polymer, or what could be metals, alloys, stuff like that, and designed to take and maintain that pressure, not a problem. So the questions that a lot of people a lot of flat earthers, the science deniers, the space deniers try to claim is that this couldn't hold that kind of pressure. Space, the vacuum of space doesn't suck. It's literally a pressure differential. So vacuum is an absence of matter. It's an absence of gas. It's just an absence of pressure. That's what it is. It's just an absence. Even space is not an absolute vacuum. It's never 100% completely zero. There's always some matter. There's always a little bit of something somewhere in all of space. It's never an absolute vacuum. It might be 10 to the minus 24 torr, right? Which is 10 is 0.24 zeros, 1, but still not zero, right? It's close. It's nearly perfect vacuum, but not the perfect vacuum. There's still a little bit of matter somewhere. Right, so, sorry, it's just, I have a thought there for a second. So yes, and this is only going up for, let's say, 3 minutes, and then it's going to come back down. It's going to have pressure going to start building up on the outside, and then this locks in, it opens up, right? It equalizes as it lands. The pressure on the inside and outside is both atmospheric pressure, easy to open up, not a big deal, right? So just that little quick one there. So you're going to say, how could they open it up? Easy, because it's the pressure differentials. There's no differential, right? It's both equalized. That's why if you in a vehicle it ends up going to water one way, you can't, to push that up, you have all the pressure of the water push on the outside, pushing on the door. But if water's coming in, when the water gets to the top, you take your last breath, dunk down in, or break a window open. When that goes in, the pressure equalizes, and you have the same water on the inside and the outside, same pressure, you can open the door easily. Before then, the pressure on the outside is too great for you to get in, because pushing in on those doors, you have air inside, pressure is greater on the outside because of the water, and you have to wait for it to equalize to open the doors. So it's the same concept. But it's just obviously the pressure is more on the outside than it's the inside. This is the pressures on the inside as opposed to pressure on the outside, but the door opens in, so they can't open that. Even if they tried to open it in space, that pressure is pushing out too hard. They have to knock that. This one, the clever, another way with the design of why they made this like this. Remember, this is designed for untrained people, or people with very, very, very tiny bit of training, only like very basic how to, act in this, and then and what to expect to go up and come down in space, 10-minute flight, right? So, all right, so that's kind of where I want to go with that. Are the astronauts? No. Did they go up past the Kármán line, see the curvature of the Earth, and experience microgravity for 4 or 5 minutes, or however long it is? Yes, they did. The flight wasn't faked. None of the flights have been faked. All of them are real. You can talk to people and see. I think Guy Dude Perfect went up in one of them. I think it was like number 24 or some shit. Don't quote me on that, but it's one of those. Yeah, so let's check out. Now, I did actually, funny enough, while I was doing this, I had an email off of Mikey Smith. He actually got back to me, Mikey. So thanks for getting back to me, Mike. Cool, I'll get back to you in the next weekend, he said. And that was 15 minutes ago. So So yes, Mikey Smith says he can get back to me. I will try to keep you up to dated. If I'm on Wednesday, if not, then we'll talk on Sunday. Or if we hear something before then I'll try to put out a post or put up something to say if I'm talking to Mikey Smith. We'll see how it goes. I gotta make sure that I have some of my observations on. I know Mikey's probably got all. He seems like he's devoted his life. He does a lot more stuff than I do, but not more. He just puts a lot of effort, a lot of work into it. I have a family and a life and stuff like that. I think Mikey lives on by himself, and this is what he does. He does his thing and maybe helps people out a bit, and then he goes and does his flat Earth stuff, going around talking to people, does his YouTube, and goes and does his binocular stuff. As I said, I wanted to see if he gets a hold of me, then maybe I'll see if I can have my observations and images and stuff that somewhere in a file ready for I can show. We can compare. But I might keep you watching. I said I have a Celestron Astromaster 130 millimeter Newtonian telescope, as well as a 70 by 700 Solarmark refractor telescope as well. And I use a planetary camera on my stuff. I did use a phone at first with my my refractor telescope. It had a little phone mount you can put up to the eyepiece. I got a new phone. My phone doesn't fit into that mount, and I actually get much better stuff with my planetary camera that fits straight into the where the eyepiece goes. So, and I can control a lot more with the software on my computer. So, as opposed to using a phone. And just FYI, smartphone is a computer. So, let's see what Mikey's been up to. We will go. We'll have a little look here. Anybody else in here? Seems like Sardis Springer is off doing his thing. So, thanks for dropping in, Sardis Springer. What has Mikey been up to? Okay, one day ago, sheep are skin deep. Flat Earth Mobile Canada day sheep. I wanted to see if he's got anything that's come up about his I wonder if there's any. No, I'm looking to see if he had anything about his lawsuit. Six days ago. Okay, no. Nothing about the lawsuit to the Canadian Space Agency, huh? This mess about here, aren't I? Show me your evidence or shut the F up. Was a month ago. So we're gonna like a day ago he put this up, so we'll go through real quick, see if we can find anything that looks of interest. I'll go through the whole thing, so. I think he's just one of his rants. If he's yapping that much and he's not paying attention, me and Mikey shouldn't be have his camera running if he's driving along. I don't know about them, Mikey, but I watch it just because I find it a bit entertaining and it makes good content for my channel. So. What is that noise? Ah, man. I miss the freaking dead quiet freaking country roads, big wide country roads of Canada, man. I was in Timmy City too with my daughters. Because we have Tim Hortons. I've started coming here to UK, but it wasn't like this crap. Like, you know, you had to. It's kind of where you're going. I don't know if I can see 3 hours in yapping around, so. Is that what this is? What's going on here? See what he's up to. What is he on about? Is that not coming through my... That's not coming through, is it? Alright. Hold on here. Hold on here. I don't think my audio is coming through on the... Let's just see here. Is this coming through? I just realized it's not.
And yeah, like I said there, Brune, not a problem, man.
So let's check and see if the audio is coming through. Oh, there we are. All right.
Yeah, bring the expert there. They're going to have to explain their pictures to me, not me explain mine to them. They're going to have to explain the whole cartoon issue.
I'm not sure what it's on about, but usually it's like Mike needs to explain what observations he's took, how he's done it, and everything else, as well as like back and forth. You know, if somebody can explain theirs, he needs to be explaining his, right? if he brings his evidence, he needs to be explaining his evidence and how it works.
I don't do cartoons. I do reality. So they're the ones who are going to have to explain.
You do images with a lot of distortion and aberration in them. So you do, Mikey. Sorry, bud.
It to the judge, not me. But again, like I said, I wish him luck, guys.
Judge? What judge? Oh, yeah, he's just talking about. Is he talking about his
I don't.
Hold on.
They're going. Yeah.
All right, sorry. Let's go back a little bit here because I think he's talking about this.
Here too long. We'll head over to the main part of the park here soon, and I guess I'll turn that off.
Is he talking to somebody in this chat? Maybe. Maybe he's talking about his lawsuit to the Canadian Space Agency.
And yeah, like I said, they're Brune. Not a problem, man. Yeah, bring the expert.
All right, it's on something else.
But again, like I said, I wish him luck, guys. Oops, I don't need this. So yeah, here's I'll show you the car for those of you who have not seen it.
I don't need to see
They have a digital sign
shaped all over it.
on the front. And the sign that I hold out, and again, like I said, nobody really pays attention. I'm not really sure why nobody's answered me about my reversed words. So is anybody gonna answer me if my video is reversed at all or mirrored? I find that odd how nobody likes to respond to that. So if somebody could respond to that, would be absolutely fantastic. So that should happen in the next 10 seconds, correct? So we'll wait. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4,
Yes, your words are
3,
backwards there.
2, 1, and nobody has responded yet. I'm kind of figuring that out. Can anybody speak English? Fine, not reversed. Can we please have somebody do that? It's reversed backwards. Okay. Well, at some point somebody will help me out with that. I've mentioned it about 150 times already, and nobody seems to want to help. So
I think you have to do it in post-production, Mike.
I guess, but we'll do what we can.
It's down to how your
I've
camera
tried to
is.
find it on YouTube.
I'm rating
Doesn't
it.
work.
Space. Let's see if you get see a response
Let
here.
them know that space is fake. As they drive into the parking lot, they are witnessing my sign that I'm holding. For those,
Maybe I reckon Mikey Smith's like the local nut job. There he goes, oh, there's that Mikey Smith again out there holding the stupid sign. And everybody just kind of ignores him.
of you who do know how YouTube runs or how the mirroring effect works, can you please leave a link in the comments and stuff like that so I can get it figured out. And I'm sorry for the wind issues, or for me. Got some sheep going in to look at all the nice cartoons inside.
I reckon everybody just kind of ignores him.
Looking for real photographs of Earth from space, but there is none to be found.
March to the moon. There's tons, about 30,000
Grab
different
some
ones.
My flyers at some point. I just want to make sure I'm. As Funny how it took 10 minutes to respond to my mirroring effect. Not reversed. What the hell is the matter with people? Like, do I have to explain that to you too? Not cold, or else it'd be really cold. Like I said, we won't hang around here too long. I'd rather go to the main source over by the legislative building.
Oh, it's over by the government building. All right.
Hey, maybe we should. Oh, but I need 2 people.
What does he think?
Yeah.
Don't go harass the kids, Mikey. Don't do it. Don't become a Nathan Thompson. Don't do it.
So, behind me is the Science Center. This is where we're at. I'm going to try to come here soon and actually record inside and ask some questions that they will not be able to answer, obviously, because I already know the answers to them. So,
Oh, then why ask? So he's gonna walk into the cognitive bias and then ask questions, and when he doesn't get the answers he wants, which he knows he won't, you see, you can't answer the questions, even though they'll probably answer the questions and be correct about it. He's already decided he knows the answers. What's the point, Mike?
we will have to see what goes on there. I have never had that before happen, filming with the selfie part in reverse. It's never happened in the last 9 years. Yes, it is.
The Earth is not flat. Kids freaking just like a roast snow.
Oh yeah? You know how water works, right? We use it as a leveling tool. 75% of Earth is water. Your government lies to you. That was easy, that one.
It was kids, you freaking muppet.
Again, I'm not going to ask him to explain it to me because he won't be able to. So I'll be like, okay, you explain how the globe works to me then.
It's easy, Mikey. Water is subject to the forces acting upon it. So Earth has gravitation, a downward vector that pulls all matter to the center of the Earth. So it can conform around the sphere quite easily as it's pulling it all around. There's no up and down to the sphere, and there's no up and down to space. Up and down, up is away from the Earth, down is towards the ground. There, so not that hard.
Well, that over here looks like a cartoon to me there, buckaroo.
So is everything in your car. There's all flat Earth is drawn with crayons. There's no flat Earth models or flat Earth evidence. So.
Buckaroo. We got the wonderful cartoon over there.
You guys realize that's a kid's playground, right?
At any moment in time, somebody will provide me with some facts. There's another
Facts
new
right here, Mikey. So see if you get a hold of me on the weekend, or for next weekend. Of course, you need to bring evidence of the flatness of the Earth as well, right?
This is a cartoon.
My little fishy
All right,
over there.
well, I think we'll move on to...
Oh, actually, newsflash, I'm not going to be on next weekend anyways. It's my wife's birthday, and we're going away for her birthday, so I'm not going to be on next Sunday. Mostly, well, no. I'll probably be recovering after that, so.
Remain.
I won't be on
parked
Wednesday,
because this
so,
place
because I would take it off on Thursday, so I'll be probably not on Thursday.
quite slow today. And the camera has never been reversed like this. So. Zero 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 point zero zero point four of their brain, I think. And again, it doesn't matter what I do, because the entire city knows that I'm driving in the city today because they can see my car.
Yeah.
They are
That's how you
not
make yourself
aware
tired.
of any of the streams going on today or the debates on YouTube. None of them. None at all. That's not too bad. But that's okay. You keep talking and I'll keep working. You keep doing nothing about truth and I'll do it all. So I would rather be out pounding the pavement rather than pounding a keyboard. Thank you very much. Because again, none of those people that went into the Science Center there just in the last 10 minutes knew nothing about a flat earth debate. Absolutely nothing.
No, because most people don't give a shit about flat Earth. Most people don't care. 99.99% of the world's population knows the Earth's a globe, and they don't give a crap about flat Earth in their pseudoscience. Welcome to Pseudoscience Sunday. So, a little quick here. Mikey talking about water. Here is water in the ISS. And if you watch real closely here, you can see it is in a spherical shape. Just in case.
Humans
Hey,
need
Mikey.
water to survive. Each astronaut requires about a gallon of water per day. But sending supplies of water to space is difficult and expensive. Resupply will become impossible as humans travel deeper into space. The ability to recycle water on these missions. Thanks to the brine processor, part of the international percent of the water collected from the on long-duration space exploration mission. Astronauts' breath and sweat is collected by special air conditioning.
And there's water right there in space. This is what happens when you don't have gravity working on acting upon it, like a downward vector being a gravitational pull. And you can see here it is a spherical shape.
Conditioners that dehumidify the space station's cabin air. The system also collects the crew's urine and runs it through a urine processor. It was added to the system percent of the space station U.S. segment's water. Dollars, and
Yes, they recycle their So there's water in the ISS. SpaceX crew. There's another one there. Sphere in space. So. Helps we go back to the other one. Right.
Missionary, and I wish you luck. And like, well, whatever. We've won twice in court already. I will be the third if I can. Like, well, whatever. We've won twice in court already. I will be the.
That is false. What it was, the Flat Earthers always claim this bullshit. It was a competition. Flat Earther put out a competition for a for somebody to I think the stipulation is he wanted to see there's curvature, or is it prove the curvature? There's something to do with um oh fuck. Right, let me just double check here. I know I can't remember the exact details. It had to do with the competition, in which there's nothing to do with the shape of the Earth, but it had to do with the rules of the competition. I can't think what the name was. Oh, is it? It was Zen versus Garcia. All right, it's Thompson versus Garcia, and I said it's Thompson versus Garcia was a lawsuit about a contest to prove the Earth's curvature. So what is the curvature? Okay, set up by the defendant, a flat earther. The plaintiff felt he won the contest, and the defendant failed to pay. The plaintiff did prove Earth's curvature, but not in the way required by the contest. Thus, the court ruled in favor of the defendant. The contest was about proving Earth's curvature with visual observations using 8 inches per mile square rule and the Pythagorean theorem. But these are not the right geometry and formula for visual observation, because these things do not account for Earth's height and refraction. Observer's height and refraction, pardon me. Because it is not the correct method, we cannot use it to prove Earth's curvature, and it will be impossible for anyone to win such a contest, because 8 inches per mile squared doesn't account for atmospheric refraction and doesn't account for the observer's height. 8 inches per mile squared is the tension of a parabola and only works from the from sea level off the ground looking straight out. So if you laid flat on the ground with the eye against it and look straight out, that is 8 inches per mile squared. As soon as you have any kind of elevation off the surface, like standing up, like say 6 foot tall, 8 inches per mile squared is no longer the correct formula and doesn't work. And so you can't use it to calculate the curvature that you're seeing. So the plaintiff had actually provided a pair of evidence that sufficiently proved the curvature, only not the type stipulated by the contest. As a result, the court sided with the defendant. Unlike Flat Earth's claim, the court neither debunked the globe nor ruled the Earth is flat. What happened is, I think then the fellow who lost the court case, the one who proved the curvature, he actually tried to appeal it, because he thought he was actually done by, and he did prove it, which he did prove the curvature of the Earth, but he didn't do it. What the contest was that he entered is that it had to be using the inches per mile squared and the Pythagorean theorem. It had to be a visual observation, and what the fellow did is he used a computer model. He still proved Earth's curvature, but it had to be a visual, and it had to use 8 inches per mile squared. Literally a rigged contest. But because that's what you agreed upon, the stipulations of that had to be visual, had to be using 8 inches per mile squared, had to be using the Pythagorean theorem. When he appealed it, it was still ruled that he didn't match the stipulations of the contest in which he agreed upon. Nothing to do with the shape of the Earth, and nothing to do with disproving the globe or proving the Earth is flat, nothing like that. It is simply the fact is that both parties, one party had made up this contest, the other one agreed to the stipulations of the contest, even though the stipulations are impossible to show this. And if you knew this and realized that, then he could then you shouldn't have entered it. But that was all it was about, is that what were the stipulations of the contest fulfilled. And it weren't because you couldn't, because it had to be used in 8 inches per mile squared, and it had to be a visual observation. And that is not possible using e equals ml squared. And the fella didn't use a visual; he used a computer model, and he used he didn't use used a formula that was stipulated you had to use in the contest. So that was all. That was all it was about. I actually read about this. I read the original court documents, and that's what it was all about. So, Flat Earthers claim disproved that Flat Earth won in the courts. That is factually wrong. It was never to do with that. It was down to the fact that a contest they didn't. It just simply is that there's a dispute in the contest, and the court said no, you didn't meet the criteria stipulated in the contest that you agreed upon. That's all it was.
Third, if I have to go to court, I will find it absolutely hilarious.
Now that I think is really interesting because Mikey, from what I've seen, Mikey Smith is claiming his claim is that space is fake, and the Canadian Space Agency is lying about it. I don't know what evidence Mikey has. If it's his pictures that he's taken with his binoculars, that's gonna be hilarious to see him try to somehow defend that those are factual evidence to prove his claim. The Canadian Space Agency has got probably like loads of telemetry data, observations. People have been up there. They probably got like, they'll have like probably stacks and stacks and stacks of all sorts of stuff that Mikey won't be able to explain. So it will be hilarious for the globe. And most likely it'll be thrown out. I think will happen because the courts won't even bother with this stuff because it'd be a waste of court's time. Is they'll probably just look at his evidence, look at the evidence, and they'll probably just throw it out and just say there's no evidence to support Mikey's claim, and he's talking crap, and then Mikey won't whine and crap. So we'll see. But
It wasn't me a few weeks ago when I was at the Jordan Peterson show. I explained it earlier. I guess I can repeat it again. The communication between me and the business that is helping me is horrible. They neglected to tell me the actual code in order to do it. What's first, second, third, fourth, blah, blah, blah. So I need to resend in my papers, which is not a big deal. That takes 15 minutes.
oh, so you messed up the court paperwork. So I think this is the end of this month, but it looks like it's not going to be if you screwed it up.
But the main part is I neglected to find out that I needed to send in an affidavit to the Canadian Space Agency. So they need a notice of the whole lawsuit and me suing them, and I need to get that done. I'll get that done in the next month or so. Send that in with a courier, and then they will reply to me showing that they received it. And then I get to resend in my papers, and then after that they send me a link back stating how much I owe them, in between $150 and $300, and then I pay over the computer online, and there you go. But that course of action will probably take at least 2 more months.
All right, so a couple more months. So he screwed up. He went and seen like a pro bono lawyer that like give him consultation and helped him file all this stuff. He must have freaking this like how he filed it. I think they helped him fill out the paperwork, but he didn't go through the processes right. He said, "Oh yeah, he's blaming on the company," but dude, you can look this stuff up. I mean, it's not that hard, right? Shit.
Hopefully less.
So.
And then everything.
I like to see this, but I'm pretty sure this is going to end. I think Mikey Smith is going to drop this pretty quick. So he gives the affidavit, and and the pretty much the government lawyers is get a hold of him, I think this is going to get shut down real quick.
It'll be good. And then I just wait 3 months, I think.
See, because Mikey's got to pay the court fees, so it's like $300 some, the filing fees, all that shit, and then I'll have to send it in. But I think he's going to get proper freaking like bent over, pretty harsh, because they're probably going to sting him with court fees for their lawyers and stuff like that. Going, look, if you take us to court, then we're going to come at you, but we're going to charge you for the court fees. And I think it's going to, unless Mikey's that delusional that he thinks that he's got some sort of case that he's going to win this, but I think this is going to get squashed pretty quick. But we'll see. I hope. And it's horrible. I hope he goes through with it. I really hope he does it, and I hope that somehow he gives all the details. And I'll probably look it up, but I think it's gonna be hilarious as fuck. But yeah, I don't think he's gonna do it, but I hope he does, because morbid curiosity.
My lawyer said, but who the fuck knows? I don't trust anybody at this point.
Oh.
Could be 3 months, 3 years, 30 years, 150 years. I don't know what the fuck. I don't even think they know. But in relation to what I have thought before, they get 3 months to reply to me, and then I get 3 months to reply back to them, and so on and so forth. But so I don't know how long it's going to take. It could take a year or 2 or 3 months. But if they want to go to trial, I wish them luck. I will literally destroy them. Yeah, I gotta give me a thumbs up. See?
I hope they do respond to you.
He wasn't watching YouTube, was he?
I hope
he wasn't watching these platforms.
I hope he puts this up. I hope he.
I was on 17 live streams this week. Oh, good. What did you accomplish? Nothing. 0. All you did was talk to your other Flat Earth friends. That's all you did.
What are you talking about? I didn't catch that.
I already. How many? 400 people already seen my car today.
You think anybody's paying attention to your car, Mikey? People
just
driving.
They won't sleep tonight. Any of these people walking here.
Flat
Earth debates suck.
Flat Earth debates suck. Well, when you can't defend your stance, then yeah, I suppose you'd think that one, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you might want to turn right before you hit me. So,
I think Mikey's he's so freaking
and
up.
Maybe we'll stop at some point.
He's so delusional.
I did not bring my banners today. It's a little windy. I do have other banners that I put on the lawn for people to read. And lots of signs.
It's still quite brown there, isn't it? Crap, I forgot how long it stays brown and stuff like that in Canada.
I got it all, boys and girls.
End of April, yeah. Crap, it's green. It's gonna be here, and trees are really starting to bud.
So literally after that, I'm gonna know exactly what I'm gonna be doing for filing a lawsuit, because I will have lots of practice.
Okay.
And so we will be changing the names and a few things on the my papers. And we will sue the crap out of NASA.
Oh, that'd be funny.
That one I can tell you. It's going to be more than 300 million, okay? That's what I can tell you.
Dude, Mikey's going for 300 million for freaking
may not
NASA?
happen.
Mikey's suing, not NASA, freaking Canadian Space Agency, which is a CASA, whatever the heck it is, for 300 million. That's hilarious. And he's going to go after NASA as well. We'll see. We'll see. I have a serious doubts he's going to go after NASA after he gets his arse bent over and handed to him by freaking the Canadian side.
Depends on how I feel and what happens with Canadian Space Agency. So
yeah, well, when we get absolutely freaking raked to the coals and get slapped with all the freaking lawyers' fees of high-priced government lawyers. Yeah, I think that we'll see.
There you go.
Unfortunately, it's been months, so
But
I was
from
hoping
this
something
point
come this
on,
month.
that's the number I'm thinking from NASA. Actually, 330. Because we got to let them know about the 33s, right?
That's awesome. Mikey's gonna sue NASA after. I doubt that.
Yeah. Flat Earth debates are only there for profit.
I thought the government building, the legislature building of
What's the wind like
Saskatchewan,
here?
or local area.
I can stand here for a bit. When you add that up, 30 or maybe 333, but when you add that up, which I'll do in a minute. That's only pennies to NASA.
Yeah, you're still not gonna get it.
Well, I can probably do it in my head. So, 30, what was that, 4 days? 70 times 4, that's almost 300 million, isn't it? Or 5, say 5 days. So less than a week. Like, that's it, less than a week. Week's budget for NASA. That's all I'm asking for. It's only a week.
What Mikey doesn't
Right?
realize is that NASA is accountable by the government. They account for every single penny, right? They get budgets given to them, but they have to say what they're going to use that for, and like how much money they want, and show the program. Now let's just say they're doing something like this random example. I mean, let's just say they do something like we're going to do a study on how mice deal with zero gravity 6 months at a time, right? And they want, I know, the program, let's say they want $50,000, right? Now, let's just say after 3 months, they decide that the results you're getting they don't like, or things are going not very well. They go, yeah, okay, we're not going to do this anymore. And they've spent $20,000 of that. They don't get to keep the other $30,000, right? That they allocate that money. That money goes back to the government, right? It goes back into the taxpayers' coffers and stuff like that. They don't get to keep that and say, okay, we're going to use the 30,000 on something else, right? That 50,000 is allocated to that program. If they don't use it all up, then that money has to get sent back. Or let's just say they do the 6 months and they only spent $30,000, then they can apply to extend it, and then may ask for money and stuff. If they don't have it carried over, right? Then that's all they get. They're allocated up to a maximum amount, but doesn't mean if they don't use it all, doesn't mean they get to keep it. They have to. That's but they can't use it for another program. They can't say, okay, I'm going to shut down this program, and now we're going to study cats. They'd be like, well, that's a new program. You need to break it all down and show us why. What are you hoping to get? What tests you're going to do, and what results and how this is going to work, and then apply for a new budget. So, when you're seeing that money is on on NASA, now that's on average. It shows me how much they spend, blah blah blah. But that has to be every single penny is accounted for. They have to have all their books are open, and people can see how much they've spent on different things and where that money has gone and how it was used. So yeah, and NASA's budget is like 1/10 and 1/100 of each taxpayer's dollar. I think somebody told me something along the lines of NASA gets, let's say, $7 million a day or something like that. Bottled water in the States is like $120 million a day. So if you really want to go after the money, Don't go space travel, sell bottled water. As for space, right here you got something that just happened. I'll go away. I don't want you. They have this is Fram 2. They orbited the Earth, north to south. One of the first people, like manned missions to do it. And here is a picture from oh, it's a render of a SpaceX crew capsule with the Capella. So this is just a rendering. Um, Man, that they actually did take some pictures from that. So see, they would tell you. Space Society is this one? The actual one. So here is SpaceX Dragon crew capsule carries 4 astronauts over Earth's poles for the first time. So this guy here, so there you are. And these guys did loads of pictures, and this is in space right here. So that was just recent. There's loads and loads there. So if he wants to think that he's going to get this over on any of the space agencies, this is, I said, it's going to be rather entertaining to watch, but it's going to be sad as well. Because I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure here. Hold on here. Let's just see. Just bear with me. See, I don't know if Mikey just doesn't realize that a lot of people do a lot of amateur stuff. See if you can bring this up. All right. Take a second. No, that's not it. Okay, here. So that's showing up. Let me just move my picture of the way here. There. Just bear with me just a second here. That's better. Just look back where it was. All right. Okay. So this is an observation, obviously, of the moon. Now I took this not with my telescope, but with my digital camera. Now these are more than just the moon, though. So let's see if I can find my pictures. Scrub through this real quick. I don't think anybody can see that, but these are pictures of some stars. Let's see here if I can get them up here. I scrub these a bit quicker. We go on to my other one here. That's my kids there. There's Christmas photos there, so let's just prefer not to show pictures of my kids on here again. Wait, okay, I thought I had some on here of them, but no matter. My point is that he says the moon is the space is fake, and yet there is literally amateur photography pictures of it. Okay, well, I know it's not popping up right now on here. I'm just kind of scrubbing through my This doesn't have my I must have took them off my off the SD card. Right, no matter on that. That's not the one I wanted. Right, back to it here. So, yeah.
I'm only doing it in my head right now, so I'm just kind of rounding it off.
I remember he's trying to calculate how much money he thinks he can get off NASA. So, and convert it to Canadian because obviously NASA's American.
Divided by 70. So yeah, almost 5 days. 4.5 days worth of budget.
Oh, that's right. He's
Days,
trying to figure out the
$70
budget.
million. So there you go. I'm gonna get out and
So he's claiming they get $70 million. Right. Daily budget per. Okay. So, like as you said, he was not too far off. NASA's budget, just to quickly on here, says it's so they're saying $69.5 million per day. NASA's the budget day per day. Like I said, let's see here. Was water. How can I feel water? Daily budget. That's not it. Where did I see that? So say there you are. So Aquafina, PepsiCo, Aquafina makes 3.9 billion. Amounts to see overall water division. PepsiCo's water division, which includes Aquafina, generates a significant portion of their overall revenue. In 2022, it represented approximately 15% of the company's total sales, which amounted to 3.9 billion. Yeah, exceeding 4 billion in 2022. NASA's anyway, let's just see here. So NASA's income 2022 was 25.4 billion. Was that the previous year? Daily so water. Oh, there you are. Okay, so bottled water market amounts to 64.5 billion in 2025. And that's at home. So revenue out of home revenue generated in restaurants and bars amounts to 52.38 billion in 20. So revenue combined is 116.88 billion in 2025. That's for bottled water in the United States of America, right? That's the budget 2025. Right, so NASA's received about 25 billion for fiscal year 2025. In continuing resolution, it kept it to another. I kept it another agency 2024 spending levels. Dictate that 7.3 fiscal year. All right, so NASA 25 billion. But if you look at like the budget of like say like bottled water, even at home 64 billion, out of home 52.38 billion, total amount in the United States 116.88 billion for bottled water. It's just kind of, it's a stupid thing really, and it's a moot point. But it's just kind of point is like NASA's not on a lot. I think was it he thinks NASA's on a ton of money, but NASA budget 25 other agencies. So just to kind of give you a little context here, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration budget by can you get on this? Let's look at this chart. Not going to put me in. Okay. So oh wait, I didn't want to do that. The breakdown there this is kind of breaks down some of what NASA's spent it on. So we have science, 31.6%, aeronautics, 3.5%, space technology, aka exploration technology, 4.9%, 20, construction, environmental compliance, restoration, 26.3%, space operations, 18.3%. This guy here is STEM engagement, 2.5%. Safety, security, and mission service, 12.9%. We have down there exploration, deep space exploration systems, 1.9%. I think that's down there, and 0.2% is for Inspector General. What's the Inspector General? I'd seen one ages ago, and it showed them compared to other government agencies. Here's one that said, well, here's an example. NASA's budget compared to the military. 2010 is the military budget. Here's NASA's budget, right? 2010. NASA's budget as percentage of federal budget. As you can see, it went up in the 60s during the space race, and as soon as coming to the 70s, stuff started going down. Along the 80s, stayed here, went up a little bit in the 90s, and now it's just steadily falling down as you head into the 2000s there. And if you look at the Planetary Society here, they're talking about NASA's budget, and See, while it has gone up a little bit this year, NASA's 25.4 billion in 2023. It went down. 2024 actually went down by a little bit, 24.9 billion. Now it's at 25.4 billion. So 2023 stats. It's proposed. That can obviously change. Here shows the projections. NASA's budget peaked during the Apollo program in the 1960s after the United States won the race to the moon. Space exploration lost political support, and NASA's budget was cut significantly. Since 1970s, NASA has hovered between 1% and 0.4% of all government spending. So they're getting from 1 penny per dollar to 40 cents. Well, less than half a penny. NASA's budget for major programs. It shows you kind of breakdown here. Here it kind of gives you an idea, right? So this is NASA's budget compared. The majority of spending in the United States government pays for social welfare programs and it's not subject to annual congressional approval. This spending is referred to as mandatory. Only about 30% of all U.S. government spending requires approval every year by Congress. A category of spending referred to as discretionary. The Defense Department and related activities account for roughly half of all discretionary spending, but all government agencies and activities, including NASA, are funded from the remaining amount. So 30% is for goes towards the spent Defense Department and related activities account for roughly So the Defense Department and related activities account for roughly half of all discretionary spending, and then after that, then all other agencies gonna divvy the other half. So the other half, so all other programs 13%, healthcare is 20%, income assistance 34%. Veterans benefits 2%, interest payments 5%, other mandatory 13%, defense related 13%, and NASA 0.3%. The United States government spent approximately 6.6 trillion in fiscal year 2020, of which only 0.3%, 22.6 billion. So the United States spent 6.6 trillion, and NASA got 0.3%, 22.6 billion. Sounds like a lot of money, but in the grand scheme of things, we look at all other government spending. It's a minor drop in the bucket of less than 0.5%. So to put it in like monetary value, each American taxpayer's dollar, NASA got 30 cents. And flat earthers always kick off about how much money they're making. But look at anything else. Look at income assistance, 34%. NASA's got 0.3%. NASA wishes it got the income assistance. Even the veterans get more. Even interest payments are 5%. NASA's 0.3, and interest payments are vastly bigger than what NASA's budget is, just to pay the freaking interest. So, yeah. Flat always claim that NASA is on so much money, but they're really not. Shoestring budget.
It's not busy today. Oh, see, but I was thinking it might be because it's the holidays, but we'll hang around here for a bit. We'll see what happens, right, guys? I know you're not really paying attention right now, but let's get this done. I know a lot of you are more concerned about the chat and talking with your buddies. If you had 23 of me out in the world with this car, the entire world would be awake in a month, okay?
23.
So get off your asses and do something. Ain't getting shit. I need to buy 2,000 binoculars in 2 months. So let's get her going. I think this guy wants some information. Or he wants to take pictures. He's been sitting there.
Or he just wants to make fun of you. Let's see.
He's probably gonna have a brain fart.
Hopefully he can make fun. That'd be funny.
I guess I can turn my car off. There's my flyers here. I'll go give him one of these bad boys. Oh.
Itchy nose. I'll call
How you
you in a
doing?
minute.
Good, good. There's my flyer with my YouTube channel there if you want to watch it there. Good information. This is all factual. This is what you observe and with your own 2 eyes.
Yeah, that's what we are observing. But do you think that anything that we observe is reality?
Pardon?
Do you think anything we observe is reality?
Well, what we can see with our own 2 eyes. I know it may not be reality, but it's still.
Do you agree that there might be other stuff that we don't have the receivers?
Oh, sure. Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. But what we see, like how.
So 2 conspiracy nuts having a little chat here. One guy say, I don't think anything we observe with our eyes is reality. What, simulation theorist or something like that?
Nature works, like this lake is 100% level at the surface, no matter if it was.
But what about gravity?
No, gravity doesn't. That doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist. So what
No.
is this then?
Well, how does water stick to the bottom of the ball? You have to have gravity, but gravity is only a theory, and you can't prove it. Just by dropping something doesn't mean that's gravity, or just because
Oh, can you explain what the force that's pulling it to the ground then?
we're not floating does not mean that's gravity. It's because the air can't support us. That's why things fall. It's buoyancy and density. That's why.
Buoyancy and density. So this is parity on the crowd because obviously buoyancy needs gravity and density isn't a force.
I think because if we drop a ball, it falls because of gravity, supposedly. But if we put it over top of the water, it falls and then stops. Why doesn't it keep going?
Yeah, because depending on what the ball is made out of, the buoyant force.
I'm not questioning.
No, I
this.
know. I'm just explaining.
I'm
Yeah.
kind of thinking about the
Yeah.
same thing
Yeah.
sometimes
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
I see planes in the sky
Yeah, airplane flies over a plane.
or
And where were you from?
Iran.
Iran. Awesome. So it's, if I know the world properly.
Airplane flies over a plane because they used to understand what where the origin of words and where it came from, because airplane actually doesn't refer to flying over a plane. It refers to its arrow, and then plane, and the plane is referring to the wings.
Where did you fly over from? You probably went to Toronto, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a straight north flight, like, but from either way it would be straight north, and then so, but it shouldn't. You should be flying like this, not straight north.
What do you say, from Iran to Toronto? Let's check that flight out and see here. That's a good one. Let's just check that out. We're just gonna go really simple here. All right, so I'm over in Toronto. I don't usually use it on the computer, so. Toronto 2. Should be able to take that off. I can't use my thing. Israel, Iraq, Iran. There. Let's just go in the middle of Iran. Okay, that'll give us a good now. That's all right there. All right, so Iran to Toronto would be so I flew from there over Norway, Iran, Belarus, or just south of Greenland, and come over to Toronto. Now, if we go to this, Google, and then we go to Iran's right there, Saudi Arabia. Let's double check it onwards. And there's that kind. Oh no, it really doesn't actually work because you wouldn't. Toronto's there. You'd end up being more the because straight shot, right? So you're gonna go across the middle of yeah, there's right there's the Great Lakes. And a straight shot. I don't have a way of drawing on here to Iran, which is right there. So there. No, it's above it. Yeah, so just about from there, you can end up going straight across and across England and stuff like that. I know England's on there, but um, so it's you have to go up and over. So but either way, it works on the globe. So it doesn't disprove the globe. Even if he said, "Oh, they're close enough," blah blah blah, doesn't disprove the globe.
Something beyond my imagination.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
I can't-
research air.
That's
No,
not-
you should be flying like this. Not straight
That's
north.
something beyond.
Flying like this, straight north, and then so, but it shouldn't. You should be flying like this. Not
That's
straight north.
something beyond my imagination.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, that's he's lying. Like he's is talking shite, because if you look at the globe model, which I show the globe model, it takes very similar to how you work with the flat Earth, except for slightly south compared to the flat Earth. But yeah, it works fine.
I
Well,
can't-
research airplane flight routes. It's
You know what I'm saying? When you see
Yes, research airplane flight routes in the southern hemisphere and watch how they completely don't work on the flat Earth model.
I mean, I always question what's happening when you get into
yeah,
an
yeah,
airplane.
yeah, exactly.
What's going on?
Yeah. Well, if you fly to Chile, you're going to get out of your seat and walk to the washroom because you got to go to the bathroom. But you're like this now because you're supposedly.
That one.
Yeah, the moon's junk. Yeah,
Oh, bullshit.
yeah, awesome. Man.
Sorry.
Yeah, keep doing
I
this.
love my language.
Yeah, no, just keep thinking, man. That's good. At
I
least
do.
you're- Yeah,
I do.
no, it's good.
I don't have anything to do, so most of the time
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
thinking about those
Yeah,
stuff.
no, that's awesome. Yeah.
But most of people don't.
No, have you ever do you read the Bible or anything like that or no?
No.
Yeah, have you ever
Oh, the Quran is Muslim.
heard of the
Didn't get a
firmament?
chance.
Have you ever heard of the firmament or the creation Genesis?
Is
Like
it in
how
Bible?
like the 6-day business, you know?
Yeah.
So in the beginning, like I'm not really a Bible person, but I know the creation part of it, Genesis. So he created a firmament to divide when he created the earth, he divided the waters here from the waters up there, and then there's a dome above us, and I've documented it on my channel twice, well, many times, pictures and videos now. There is 100% of surface up there. You
There
can't go
isn't.
to space. Space doesn't exist.
You can.
It's just a cartoon. I'm actually suing Canadian Space Agency for a lot of money. I'll buy you a few of those. Oh, which words? I thought you owned that truck. Though.
Share some with
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
I
it's-
guess that's gonna be a whole bunch.
yeah. Well, it's going to be funny if they want to go to trial. I'm just going to laugh my face off because it's just a waste of time.
It is a waste of time. It's most likely going to be thrown out and not even go to trial because the courts are just going to throw it out. If they do, though, Mikey's going to end up paying the legal costs.
It's just garbage, man.
What do you think of stars then?
Oh, are you here? Let me show.
Stars and moon.
Yeah, well, here. This is
Just
the
gonna
star
show his,
Sirius. I recorded this myself.
Serious.
That's a
Friggin-
real star. They're not balls of gas. They're frequency. A lot of the big stars like Sirius, Capella, Vega, a lot of the bigger, well, I would say at least 50% of the stars look like that, at least. And they do this at their frequencies. You know, they go in and out like a coil.
Yeah, they're burning.
Oh yeah, they're just. And then of course, the way temperature works, so the white part is the hottest part, but this is a solid surface, a solid structure. I think this part here, and this is like it goes in and out. This goes in and out like
What
this.
is this picture?
That's the star Sirius.
How did you?
With my binoculars and my phone connected to it. That took almost 6 months to get
And
on
how did
clear
you
clear
make it?
nights. Oh, I took that's a video. It's a screenshot of one of my videos.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I record them as videos.
Okay.
Yeah. No,
I'll
they're.
take a look at your.
Oh yeah, you'll be flabbergasted. I don't have any content like anybody else. I actually do work, like create my own content. I don't use other people's content because I don't trust other people's content. I'm truthful and honest.
I hope that Mikey contacts me because I have images of Sirius as well, but mine are much more different than his.
As much as you get. Yeah.
What do you do?
But she'll claim mine is fake, but mine conform to reality. His are conform to a obscured image of having a lot of atmospheric refraction and stellar aberration.
Do for living?
Just this YouTube,
If I ask.
YouTube stuff. Yeah.
How long?
Optical
Oh,
anomalies.
I've been doing YouTube for at least 8 years, but more flat Earth, about 10 almost. Yeah. I got 2,600. Yeah. I should have more, but there's lots of people in town here. Oh yeah, that are flat earthers. Oh yeah, they're not on my YouTube, but they're, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Good.
There's more
Good.
than you think.
Oh yeah.
They just don't want to talk about it because
you'll
be called everything in the book.
Oh, these whole game.
Yeah, exactly.
Work, money.
Yeah,
Hey, this guy's just kind
Yeah,
of
no, you know it. You're good. You know it,
patronizing
man.
a bit.
Yeah, you too, man. Yeah, he knows. He knows it, guys. He knows it. He knows it. There's flies out already.
Mikey, didn't you realize that most likely someone from Iran is a Muslim and not a Christian? Poor Mikey.
But yeah, he knows it. Okay, cool. At least someone's paying attention. Front of the legislative building right there. Out of that building, no word of a lie. On the front, all at the same time. It hurt. If you took a picture of yourself right now and looked at...
Alright, you know what? I got a late start on this, and it's getting late, so yeah, I think I'm just gonna call it there. To be honest, it's getting late. I'm getting quite tired, and yeah, there's not much from people in here. So yeah, I think that's gonna be about it here, folks. So I will I'll update if Mikey gets a hold of me. If Mikey contacts me and we set something up, then that should be quite interesting. I'll have to make sure that I'm well rested for that, and I've got some of my observations kind of gathered together. I got stuff on my TikTok. You can look me up on TikTok, Curious UK. I have all my videos. I do link up onto my X, which is Curious UK Debunks. I couldn't get all the debunks on there, but look up. As well as my channel. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Click the like button if you like it. Comment down below. Share it out to your friends, families, enemies, whatever. And I'll be trying to go live again. Most likely, it'll probably be next Wednesday, not this Wednesday coming up. And I'm going to be gone over the weekend with the wife, taking her out for her birthday, going away for the weekend. So then I will probably be more likely on next Wednesday. If unless something comes up, and then I'll put up a community post if there is. But I am trying to make it more consistent. But yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Like I said, don't forget to follow me for more videos here. Check out my other videos. I got quite a few, as well as I got my TikTok. I got been on that for a couple years, so I got quite a few on there. Yeah, don't forget the Earth is empirically, demonstrably, and provably a globe. We are orbiting the sun. We can measure this, prove this, and observe this. And the Earth is definitely not flat. So don't forget, people, to stay curious. And I will see you again. And I'm going to give I'm going to try my a new ending here, a new song I just kind of I put together. So check it out and see what you think. Let me know. Thanks for watching. See you again.
All hail the ball we tread with care, a spear so vast floating in air, with gravity's pull anchoring deep, through heavens high our course we keep. Oh, hail the ball, the curve is true, horizons bending out of view, the stars they spin a tale divine, north and south their dance align. The rising sun, it paints the skies, sets westward where the golden lies. Its path not flat, its arc profound, a shining truth, the globe is round. The rising sun, it paints the skies, sets westward where the golden lies. Its path not flat, its arc profound, a shining truth, the globe is round. South spins slow in opposite grace, northern stars in turn they trace, a cosmic waltz both strong and wide, proof of the ball on which we ride. In shadows cast, a curvature found, eclipses whisper in silence profound, a tilted axis seasons bestow, from melting optics to polar glow. Oh, hail the ball, the curve is true, horizons bending out of view, the stars they spin, our tail to